Listen, I think ultimately we've got a group of guys here this year who wanna win, who wanna do what it takes for the group, and that sometimes involves playing out a position, being on the bench wherever you're needed. We've got a squad full of guys now who can play in different spots, and on the day, sometimes you need to play out a position a little bit, and you've got to be dialed in training all week. We're all in a lot of the same meetings, so we know what it takes to fill in these positions. So I think it's just credit to our group and to our staff and how we prepare ourselves for when situations like that come up. Yeah, I think anytime you play at home, success or not, it's a treat, right? I mean, we've all been to our stadium, we've all seen what it's like, you know. I think the game against Portland when we scored that third goal was as loud as I've ever heard the place. And it's just those are why you play, those are why you compete, why we're out here every day giving everything for moments like that. So we'll get back in front of our fans. We've got another 3 points in our pocket, but we're not satisfied. We've been here before the beginning of last year with a decent start, and we're humble, we're grounded. We know that we've got a lot of work to do. We've still got a lot of good teams to play. And I think San Jose is one of those teams. Yeah, none these past few weeks. More this week because we don't have any other right backs out there. But you know, I take pride in watching a lot of games around the league. I know quite a few players. I've played against David Accam a lot of times. I know what his strengths are. I know most of the players in this league. I've been around a long time, and like I said, after I'm done at our stadium on a Saturday, the benefit of playing in the East Coast time zone is that you get to go home and watch all the other games and see different guys, so you know what to expect. And obviously, I'm not the quickest or strongest guy. I'm not here for that, but I can play intellectually and use my head and get in the right position and make some good plays, and was able to help our team win. So that's what's most important. Yeah, I think it's done in training naturally through actions. You know, we're out here competing every day. We've got a squad of guys now. Everybody wants to play. Everyone's fighting for minutes, and so I think it naturally kind of takes care of itself. But there are also meetings where it's verbally communicated to the group that you know, we're here to keep doing this and to enjoy winning games, but to also understand that, you know, one win doesn't do anything, or a few wins in a row, as we saw last year. We learned a hard lesson. So it's important now that we have another opportunity to set the tone with another home game this weekend. Yeah, we've got, I think it goes back to what we do out here every day, guys mixing and matching spots, mixing and matching teams. We've only played in the 4-2-3-1 or a 4-1-4-1 for a couple of weeks now. We're still learning the system, and so guys are kind of bringing their own little flair to it, and we're learning. I thought Pinho did a good job. We knew what we needed to do against Philadelphia to stay tight and compact and make sure that their fast guys didn't get, their outside backs and the wingers didn't get a ton of space, and Pinho and Mueller did an excellent job at executing the game plan, and with that comes wins. I think the same thing we've been doing. Don't beat ourselves. Obviously against Minnesota and New York City, we gave away goals in the back and turnovers that just led to direct goals, and Portland as well. If you turn the ball over in bad spots in the field, you're going to get punished in this league. So we got to keep it tight. We got to stay solid. Joe's got to have another big game. It was good to see him get his first shutout, and we've got to be aggressive. I think when we step forward to things and you know, work hard, get tight to guys, make it hard for people to come into our place and get on the ball, I think that goes a long way the other side of the ball. Yeah, it's cool. You know, every year there's something like that, a little different, where you get to experience something unique like that. I think it's amazing that you can turn plastic bottles into jerseys, and they feel really, really nice, as nice as the normal ones that are not made of plastic bottles. I think it's huge for the environment. Hopefully we can teach people and everybody gets on board to understand Earth Day and Earth Month, and that, you know, we need to protect the planet, and that there is such thing as global warming, and that it's important for our community and our youth to understand that we're trying to not just wear a cool jersey and everyone can talk about. We're doing it for a reason, and that's because, you know, days like this are wonderful, and we want to keep them around for generations. Yeah, I think, you know, no matter where you're from or what you're about, you know, we've got one planet here. At least that's what I believe. You know, maybe there's something else out there, but for right now, we've got this one. We got to treat it well, and you know, as adults, I think we've oftentimes let the younger generations down in terms of that kind of stuff. So I think as long as we set the right example and the right tone about recycling and you know, clean energy and all that stuff, I do think it's very important. The athletes part is interesting. I think you're seeing more athletes buck the trend. but there's still a long way to go in that arena. And so obviously, we're just talking about the environment this weekend, but I don't think any of our guys are going to shy away from that. We're all proud to wear those jerseys and do everything that we can inside our training ground to be green. Yeah, it'd be fun. I think it's no coincidence that our form has turned as he's come on the field. He brings energy, he brings quality, he brings leadership in his own way, starting the pressure in the defense, and so for him, it's a guy who went to a small school, started in the USL. I mean, the story is pretty cool, and so for 100 goals, whenever that one comes, it's a nice opportunity to stop and reflect on what you can do if you put your mind to it and never give up, keep working, no matter if you're in a junior college or USL or whatever. The dream has been proven into a reality, and Dom's a great example. So hopefully we see it this weekend. If not, I'm sure it won't be far behind. Well, it's more of a personnel thing in terms of we just didn't have guys. We didn't have a true number 9 that was used to playing in a diamond. We didn't really have a 10 with Sasha being out the first 2 games. So we went with a diamond for a few games, and obviously going down a red card to DC and then giving away goals to Minnesota and going to Yankee Stadium. It wasn't great, but obviously we moved away from the diamond. But for me, it was more of a personnel, getting the right guys back and finding ways to get your best soccer players on the field. I don't know exactly what the shape will look like, but we want to get as many good, fit, informed guys on the field as possible, and we'll put the best shape out there that allows us to do that. Yeah, Cristian's an interesting one, right? He's always got the quality and the ability to do what he did on Friday night against Philadelphia, to come in, change the game, run the show, not give away a ball. He came in with an injury. He came in a little out of shape, and so he missed the preseason, and we weren't able to use him when we really needed him in those early games. And so now you're seeing he's fit, he's sharp, he's in a really good way. So the challenge is now to keep him at that level. He seems different to me this year. He seems more focused, more engaged, more ready, a little more mature. I think sometimes we forget how young he is and inexperienced, and we continue to support him and help him grow because we know what he's capable. I think everybody saw it on Friday night. He changed the game, and so we've got to make sure that it's that level that we get from him every game, and not the old Cristian, if you will. Yeah, I think that's what we've been showing on video. I don't know, if you remember the first minute against New York City, he went in for a pretty hard tackle that could have resulted in a play where, you've seen those given as red cards, and we just can't afford that. And he understands that, but implementing that into not doing it like he did in Philly, just takes time, takes experience, takes games. We were all young once, made mistakes, and so he's gone through that now, and now we need consistency from him, and he's been fantastic in training. I'm sure he's gotten a lot of rave reviews for his performance, so let's keep it going. When he plays like he did on Friday night, he's up there with the best of them, with the Ozzie Alonsos, the Bradleys, these types of players. He's that good, but it's the consistency that we need to start to see.